Hello, my name is Dominic Underhallhouse and welcome to another episode of Moonbreaker. In today's episode I'm going to be going back and playing our big finish list again, so it's the same one we played previously. However, I really did enjoy how the early game played out and I wanted to see where we can move forward from there. So the list itself is focused around trying to get to Crosshair, Xianya and Reti Ranglaman and seeing if we can go for some big finishes with those really high damage output, or in the case of Captivator Xianya, high utility and damage output units. To follow it up, we've basically got a few to set it up, we've got a few early game units. So we've got Deadeye as our standard 2-drop, very consistent. I like Deadeye a lot. We've got Snareling in here to try and buy us a bit of time. For 3-drops, we've got Rebuild a Texo in here to try and sort of basically buff our units up. We've also got, Stitchy is another 2-drop as well. And we're trying to basically play the defensive early game. One thing I did notice is that we were kind of lacking around turn 4. So I mean, we don't actually have any 4-drops other than Arya. It felt there was a little bit of a lull in the middle there, but I'm not really sure where I change it yet. And I think what I'm going to do is I'm going to play some more games and eventually come to a conclusion, because I feel like just the mid game felt like it needed a little bit more of an oomph in there. So this list, it's really fun. Basically, the aim of it is just to punish people for coming too near us and just really leverage those big high damage units in the late game, and just Texo and Stitchy to keep things alive so we don't fall behind in the point swing, and try and capitalise from there. So that's what we're going to do. If you're enjoying the content, please don't forget to subscribe. Most of all, it is the best way to support the channel at the moment. It's the thing I'm pushing most for. Every single one of you is really appreciated. You can also like, comment. I love hearing from you guys, especially in the comments. And also, if you want to, you can support on Patreon as well. But for now, I'll see you in game. Okay, we have found ourselves an opponent. It is Terrarius, a level 51 Zuna player. So I feel like Zuna's not too bad of a matchup for this. We've got a lot of things that basically just take things out quickly. So unless they've got like Zuna and Texo and lots of different ways of buffing their units up, I feel like in the early game at least we should be able to survive, and in the late game we should be able to start killing things. So I don't think this is too bad. This is an interesting one given that we're both melee, but basically melee units, because Toltecan is melee. I feel like I always go second. It's a weird thing, but I always feel like I go second. So Toltecan's going to be able to get onto their turn 2. We might be able to deploy around turn 1, so might they. But anything we can do to just make a bit of progress would be nice. This is one thing I did notice, where we don't really have a good 3 cost to go for an early drop, but it does mean we can save our resources. So unlike previous lists, which I've done before, I haven't actually planned out our resources as well as I have done in previous ones, because in previous builds I've gone out of my way to basically make sure that I'm always picking things that are what's the word? What am I trying to say? I'm always trying to pick things that have like a curve, and I calculate the curve in advance to make that as reasonable as possible, make sure it's like a decent chance of knowing what I'm going to play each turn. So if I'm not spending one leadership one turn, I've got a plan for it the next one. So here we don't really have a plan for going second. We don't have a solid 3-drop. So this is going to be them deploying something onto Deadeye here, which is likely going to mean that we're going to potentially even lose Deadeye this early on. But we're going straight up to Arya, in theory. So if we need to, we can go Arya. But that means we can't then save following up. This is why I feel like we're missing a 4-drop, because we can go Snareling if we want to, actually. Snareling is good into Toltecan. And just sort of contest this. They can try and push down that way. We could even just move up here and try and just hold something if we've got anything that holds it relatively safely. It could even just be that we use Deadeye, shoot here, move up here, and then try and deploy around that range. I'm not sure if it's going to be enough though. Okay, so they're going for Furia. Furia is obviously terrifying at all times, and is going to be healing. This is very interesting. I actually think Furia is a very good unit at the moment. So the question is, how do we go about trying to deal with her? The best we can get is like 5% hit chance. So this would give us deployment up there. So I'm going to just do that and basically go with the run and hide technique, which I think is a valid technique. I'm going to start with... so that was the range of Ozos. Okay, well that's a bit awkward. So I think in that case We just block line of sight onto Deadeye here and just try and clear this out a little bit. What we can do then, so we're going to do 2, so we want 3 damage. So if we just pop this down here and make it safe, we do lose our ambush, but we can just go for this and just end Toltecan. Here we might as well shield our units. 7 and 1, so neither of these actually save us from a Furia hit. So there's no point in doing this. We just want to basically deal with Furia later, is the game plan here. So we spent all of our resources. It does mean that we're on either Snarling or Stitchy next turn, possibly Texo if we need it. But they're going to want to try and respawn Toltecan. So the question is, do they have enough room to get there and do so? So where's Toltecan here? So it's out of range for Toltecan. They haven't really got anything. I mean, if I were them, I'd probably just move over here and try and hold this point. The fact they're going to be healing this every turn as well is quite awkward, but we might be able to push some damage onto it if they position badly, or if we can get something like hit and run out there. So if we can get Arya at a point where she can get a guaranteed hit, and then we can just run down here and hit and run, we can clear out Furia very, very easily. But the issue is whether or not we can get there. So we might be able to do it from this angle, but if they come around here and block it off, then we're not going to be able to get to hit and run anyway. So, sorry, not to get there with hit and run anyway. This is interesting. Their placement really matters, but also this Cinder Sphere could be a big downside for them. Okay, so they've gone for the Fate Twister Tantan, so they've got the guaranteed hit. We just need to find ways to put the damage out. The other question is, do I think I could get somewhere where I could potentially get there quick enough?
Your turn. You have a 1-point lead.
So what can we do here? Can we get...
No more happy hours.
So we can get here and get a guaranteed hit. The question is, can we deploy close enough to get there?
I see them. Hope they don't see me.
So where does this give us? So if we come up to here, maybe this gives us deployment behind the enemy. Oh, we don't have hit and run mana. Oh god, this was a huge mistake. Well, we may as well just shoot that anyway. That was a terrible, terrible mistake. Okay, good. Good to know. Oh dear. I guess we just go Sword of Justice here. This was a horrible thing to have happened. I'm actually just going to go and score points and try and tick up the points every turn, not worry about anything else, and to be honest, probably pop down one of these. We've got 4. Next turn we can go to something big though. Given that we're not really going to use anything here, I think we just pass. Yeah, I think we just pass here and try and go for points at this point. They can use Furia for no... Like, this was a complete waste. Because I forgot that we didn't have enough leadership for hit and run. Absolute waste here. There was nothing we could get in here to do or 4 damage. The best we could do is Stitchy and Snarling, which at best does 2. So this is why I feel like the 4 drops is somewhat lacking in this list. I might be tempted to drop something like Antios for maybe like a... Oh, Shrapnel's gone up in cost as well. I have to look at what 4 drops there are. Something in here doesn't feel right. Like Snarling doesn't necessarily feel like it even fits the list. So maybe we'll drop Snarling for a 4 drop and make life a lot easier for us. If they're just not attacking with Furia, then that's fine by us. Because we might be able to get to something like Reti Ranglamar or just clear out a couple of other units and do enough damage to win the game that way. Okay, so what's this?
Have you seen the
It's Crash. Okay, so they can just kill that with Crash. Yep. Crash is good now.
It's over.
So Furia's running away. So now does that mean we have any way of getting some action in here? I'm not entirely sure it does. We're going to have lots of mana. And lots of mana, lots of leadership. So can we do anything about this? We're going to swing it back to a 1 point. We might be able to start dealing with Crash a little bit. The question is, can we deal with Furia?
You have a 1-point lead.
Anything we got that can deal 7. Do we have... We only have 3. Cinder... I mean, Antios can deal 5. So have we got any way of getting this to get a good angle onto Furia? What's the best we can get? 21? That literally the best we can do? It does look to be. Okay. That's unfortunate. This doesn't get us into range either. But have we got anything else that is 4 or less? See, 4 again. Okay, so we can actually do this, but it's just a really awkward turn. So I think we might be able to. So if we move up here, we can deploy Antios. No, we can't actually get Antios in range. Okay, this is a real issue. Crosshair, Furia did move.
Conclude your actions.
I think it's just captivate Zyanya here and just lock them all down and make them deal with us. And then we'll pop Snaring down here, I guess, and just shoot something else. This was a bit of a mistake, but
You have a 1-point lead.
okay. We're not doing well. They're going to kill Zyanya here. But if we get close enough that we can actually pull something else out the bag, then we're okay. They could go for captain damage. If they do that, we're just going to start stitching next turn. Because they're not going to be able to move. We've got multiple things keeping them in place. Yeah, so now Furia can move, but nothing else. In fact, we should have snared Furia with Snareling just to make sure that we didn't end up with the with a bad target for Crosshair. I can't remember who Crosshair is, my goodness. Because now we're still going to be struggling. We've got 6 cost, but we've got probably enough to deal the damage, depending on where Furia goes. But the question is, can we just do this in points instead? Because if we can just do this in points, especially if Furia doesn't move, then this is absolutely fine. We're contesting here, we can come fight over here. Crash is going to be a problem later, but not quite yet, because we can just snare that for now.
No time to spare.
Yeah, Furia can go wherever. We just need to get 7 damage in 1 turn. We should be able to do that with 2 units here. If we can just lock Crash up as well, that's so good for us.
Right there.
That's all fine. We don't care about that in the slightest. Okay, so we've got a point.
You have a 1-point lead.
Snareling comes to here and just locks this up.
Please lend me your ear.
Okay, so we can do this.
Rolling.
Oh, I thought we were on that. So we hit that. And we could have spun and used Antios, but no. Oh my goodness, I forgot about this rule. Okay,
What
well,
is your will?
yeah, we're just going to spin first.
Executing justice.
I believe hit and run should still be able to do this. Or actually Crosshair just does the job, doesn't it? If we can find something like that 90, whatever it was. There we go, 97.
What are you on?
Okay, we'll
Well
stop
done,
taking
Captain.
risks here.
You
We'll
have a
shield of
clear
hope
point
there.
advantage.
We can...
Complete your objectives.
Anything we can poke? I guess we poke Toltecan. Go for that. Nothing else to do here. Pass the turn. So now we're ahead in points.
Opponent's turn.
Crash
You
is
have a 1-point
pretty
lead.
much immobilised. We're getting 7 next turn, so we're getting closer to Retier Anglamar. Crosshair isn't great here, but we can finish this off easily. We've got... In fact, no, Crosshair can do 6 damage to Crash. So we might be able to just deal with that. If they don't go for Crosshair now, we could actually potentially just kill Crash next turn, which is fantastic. And then eventually we'll get our way to Retier Anglamar. Yeah, so they're going to go for some damage onto Crosshair. We did protect Crosshair, which is good news. They can make our next attack miss as well, actually. So Crosshair, not that useful right now.
Quick, in the bubble.
Yeah, that's fine. Not immobilised. Are they going to remember to debuff our Crosshair? Because that's the big thing here. We do need to find ways to just clear out the board a little bit. Okay, Peacemaker Battle, that's fine. If they don't shut down Crosshair, we're in a really good spot, I think. Because that could potentially move around and maybe even take a... Ooh, have they got Arya to come down here? Yeah, there we go.
Hide in the corner.
I did know that this was a risk. I actually think we're falling behind in this now, which is very interesting. But we might be able to end this game here.
Your turn. You have a 1-point lead.
Okay, so we can come to here, which I believe the Sword of Justice is going to be just
Today's
about right.
recruits, so lazy.
Okay, so first of all, this needs to just die. Are you kidding me? No way. Oh, goodness. I'm fairly sure that was a 98% shot, which is really funny to me. So yeah, see, when I was talking about the other video, the deployment, I can't deploy behind things here because of the sort of the strange line of sight blocking mechanic. I'm still not entirely sure how it works.
Come on, fellas.
But hey, it is what it is. So I guess we just go hit and run here, poke that, and then run behind this way. And we are just going to stitch you here to finish this off.
You have deployed 5 out of 6
Nutrient
crews
syringe
on the
there.
field. Well done, Captain. You have
Dead
a
I
clear
can buff
point
herself, I
advantage.
guess.
What is your
I guess we Sword of Justice here and hit this to explode it and kill Fake Justice Hampton. Shield of Hope ourselves. Okay. That wasn't a great series of events.
Have a 2-point lead.
This was nonsense. This was utterly nonsense. And the fact that now Crash is just going to melt us all. This is so funny to me that we missed a 98% shot. We're going to lose both of these units now. Crash is going to become a real problem real fast. And we don't quite have the resource to deal with it. If we don't lose both of these, we can go crazy a little bit. But I think we're going to. And I don't know how we're ever going to deal with Peacemaker Valum here. That 98% miss was brutal, because we could then deployed something else and finished it off. We didn't really care about Arya up here, so... Very, very interesting. Yep. So we're just starting to get out-controlled here. We need to find ways of dealing enough damage. Yeah, so she shields herself. That's absolutely the right thing to do. And we need to find ways of basically clearing out other parts of the battlefield. I don't think we've got a way of getting onto Balam here. But, okay, so Balam stands that way. Yeah, that makes sense. What we could do is deploy Reti Ranglamar and just shoot this direction and hit 4 things, potentially. I don't know how much damage it does, is the problem.
A lazy robot?
Yeah, so they're going to try and hold up there, a hole up there. If we can get in range of the spin here, I'd probably just take it. And just try and go for the spin damage onto...
You have a 1-point lead.
No, not quite. So, what do? We can go for
We
just
can work with that.
a bit of a buff here. Poke. We can move to... What about... Okay, so we've got 5 damage here. Can we do 4 more? But we're not in range, are we? So what if we go to, say, here? What do we even do? Can we Antios here? We can get Antios on there. And or we can just Reti Ranglamar somewhere. This looks like fun. Let's just try it out.
Be nice to your chums.
Wait, that looks in range to me. I swear that's in range. We'll go for that so we can deal with this next turn.
Units are not touching.
Wait, we're not... Oh my goodness. This game is not my friend today. So we're stunned over there. We just kind of want to stick it out over here then. Sure.
Opponent's turn. No one is in the lead.
We've got 6 units left. They've got 8. So this is going to be a real struggle to come back into. Like, I don't think they can necessarily kill Reti Ranglamar, but they probably can use... so they're probably going to use their Peacemaker Balm over here to clear it out. Or to stun it, sorry, for a turn. But if they do that, there's a very good chance that we can then clear Balam up next turn, which is very important right now. Okay, so they can hit 2 units, yeah. Again, positioning probably not ideal on my part. They're going to protect that. That's fine. Ah, moving here is interesting because now maybe we can't even get there. Accuracy decreased. So it's going to gain 4 health. I don't think we can do this. I think we're going to struggle again.
Can't hurt, right?
So I think we're going to have to try and kill over here instead. So we take 5, deal 3, so it takes them down to 6, and then we're going to struggle. Yeah, our captain is completely trapped. And we are going to be able to attack back here at least. So we've got some damage coming in.
You have a 1-point lead.
Okay, so honestly, Peacemaker Balam is insane in this format at the moment. So go over here. Where can we deploy? So we can deploy Texo, we can deploy Antios. Antios can get there. We obviously have to Sword of Justice here.
You cannot alter your fate.
And nothing here actually dies, so let's Antios here.
You have deployed 5 out of 6 crew.
Get the inner energy onto this. Get that dealt with.
Well done, Captain. You have a
I feel like they're going to be going for us regardless, so let's just hit that down a little bit. Texo can clear that off.
You've deployed the maximum number of crew on the field. Unit is already at full health.
Oh, so you can't use this on a full health unit.
What is your will?
That's interesting. So now I guess we just use this to protect things.
Love to laugh?
We're going to get a little bit closer next turn.
Feelings.
I'm just going to move around here. Yeah, nothing here can be used on. Okay. We're not out, but I think we're out.
Have a 2-point lead.
Peacemaker Balam coming over here every turn and healing 4. Oh, wait, sudden death means we might actually be able to hold this out. Because they now need to kill our units. So there's a chance we might be able to get this with sudden death. So sudden death I haven't experienced yet, but basically my understanding is it reduces the number of victory points needed to win by 1 each turn. If they go for our crew rather than our captain here, we might be able to actually clear this out fast enough to just win by sudden death. Snarling. Okay, so Snarling. That's probably the wrong Snarling choice. Don't do this. Oh my goodness. This could be what we need to win. Like, this could actually be what we need to win. Because if it goes down by 1, they could. Oh, they're going to heal by 4, yeah. So.
Good bug.
If it goes down by 1, we're controlling 1. If it starts next turn,
Always complications.
we're going to go up 1, and then we're going to be able to kill 2 units most likely. Because they had to snare here, not here.
What are you
Oh, please don't kill it. Just don't kill it. Is there anything else that hasn't attacked? No, so does this start now?
Your turn. You have a 2-point lead. Sudden death will begin on the next turn.
Oh, so it's not active yet. So if we spin
It
these,
is your expiration date.
poke there, and try and stay a little bit safer. Inner energy and just poke there. Heal that. Honestly, I think we just bring this in and hang on. How much does that heal each? It's 4 each turn. So let's bring it here. Stop them scoring. We missed, of course, but that's perfectly fine. Stitchy can come in and start trying to help. I don't mind if they go for that over here. Honestly, more than anything, I just want this to survive. So I actually think we try and body block Tipu to not get to Antios.
Warning.
There we go. I think this is the right call.
Opponent's turn. You have a 3-point
Okay, so
lead. Sudden death. It
they're
is
going to
now
be able to
4
kill
points
here.
to win.
But are we going to be able to finish this off? This takes down to 1. We need to kill 1 crew next turn, and they have to figure out what to do with all of this. I don't know how this is going to go. I think they might be able to kill our captain before anything else. So they're stunning there. which is fine. It's probably the right choice as well, but it does potentially mean we have a bit of damage coming through onto the enemy units. I don't know how this is going to go. I think they still win, just about. But it's hard for them to actually kill units here is the thing. So if we can kill units and they can't, we're going to win. Especially if we can stay contesting these objectives. Yeah, so now they're going to Snareling anti-us, I assume, after they put...
Captain, your health is at 50%.
Yeah, so we get the hit there, that's fine. We don't really care too much about that. Toltecan's going to heal back up. So can we find any way of getting damage dealt? Or even just saving ourselves with Stitchy.
Your turn. You have a 3-point lead.
So
Sudden death. It is now 4 points to win.
next turn it drops again, I believe. So all we need to do is just not lose. So this still contests an objective. A Shield of Hope.
My wires feel itchy.
We're going to move. I mean, Sword of Justice helps a bit, but not really. We can come here and hit this to try and just get some damage through.
Maybe that's good.
I don't understand how we're still missing all of these. I thought we might miss some, but... What's the range of our heal here? I mean, I guess we just go here.
Already used ability.
Supposed to restore.
Why can't I use Nutrient
No
Syringe?
valid targets.
Oh, okay, just valid targets, okay.
You cannot alter your fate.
No point in meleeing here because we just take more damage than we need to. Pass the turn. If this drops it down, does that mean we win? Yes! There we go. That's my first sudden death win. That is one of the most exciting ways of playing it. Because I knew sudden death meant it was then 3 points, but I didn't know if we then had to score it or if we just had 3 points and we win. I was not expecting to win that game. That was awesome. I want to say a huge congratulations to my opponent Terrarius. That was an awesome game. I'm really, really glad we got to play that. Thank you so much for taking part in it. Honestly, this might be the most exciting game I've played in a while. It was a proper nail-biter. We got a little bit of laser damage down, and then Balam just showed why Balam is so good right now. Xianya was pretty much a dummy. We just sort of played it for a bait for one turn because we didn't know how to deal with that Furia. I made a few issues with the whole deployment thing. The blocking deployment is very weird. It's understandable, but it's very hard to get used to, and it's not something that's coming second nature to me yet. Our opponent played great. Which units didn't we see? I think we actually saw everything in the end. I think we saw all of their units in the end. So, awesome game. I loved it. Hopefully you guys did too. If you did, make sure you hit the subscribe button. That is the best way to support the channel for the moment. I really want to push for 500. It would mean a lot to me. You can also like the video, drop a comment, let me know if you thought I was going to win that or not. And if you really want to support the channel, there is the Patreon, where it's a little bit of financial support for me to help keep doing all the things that I do. I don't currently have the funds to upgrade any of the things that I've got. I can't afford better editing software. I think you can probably tell I'd like a new camera, and in the long run, a whole new PC. The box thing I've got down here is a nightmare. But anything you can do is always appreciated. For now, thank you so much for watching, and most importantly, have a good day.